I don't think I do it.
But Arsenal started like house on fire. Signing number 2 for this new era. It's Judgment Day, people. Yeah! What did your boy tell you? It was never in doubt. Never in doubt. Don't believe in any luck, I believe I'm self-made, yeah. Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show, and thank you for all joining me on this lovely Friday. It is Friday, isn't it? I hope you're all doing well. Please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit the notification bell. And whilst you're at it as well, make sure you go on over and follow the LFC Day Trippers that I have appeared on many, many times, and is one of my favourite channels outside of Leeds United content creation, to be fair. It's always a good show, and I've got the head honcho of that very show, Gav, with me. Gav, how are you, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, Joe. I'm good. I have to wait till Monday for this game, which is the only thing annoying me. But no, good to be with you. You come over to our channel, I grill you and give you an awful lot of abuse. So it's your turn now. So feel free to hit me with whatever you have.
I've got many things in the locker to come at you with, for sure. Yeah, we're going to talk Bellingham. We're going to talk this disastrous season of Liverpool. We're going to talk that 2-1 victory at Anfield, and whether or not Leeds United can do the double. I'm not very confident. If I'm being totally honest. But we'll get into it, folks. Please do get your comments in the chat as well, and we'll put them to Gav if you have. Someone said it's Liverpool, not Arsenal. Have I got? Oh my God, I've got Arsenal versus Leeds in the title. My apologies. I'll get that changed. But Gav,
yeah.
Just talk to me where your head's at going into this one. Is the Champions League done now? What are you playing for?
Yeah,
no. What are you playing for, right?
No, not playing for anything, Joe, to be honest. You know, I think we sit about 8th in the table. I think Newcastle's form is what scuppered it for us, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think if you look at Spurs and you look at United, you kind of go, there's a mistake in them, but even United are well clear. No, look, Liverpool have been phenomenal for five seasons anyway. They've the whole COVID thing, when we used about 19 different defensive or central defensive partnerships the year after we won the league, was just one of those things that happened, and we came back from that. You know, a lot of people thought you win the league in 2021, you know, we don't defend it well, but that's more down to luck than anything else. You know, I think we are just very unfortunate with injuries at centre half. And then when you go back to last season, you know, Liverpool are incredible. You know, they're 2 bounces of a ball away from a quadruple that's never been seen before. And I know people will say, well, you won the FA Cup and the League Cup, and, you know, kind of sneer at that. But you know, if you win them and you kind of come 7th in the league, you kind of go, yeah, you concentrate on them. But like Liverpool went down to the last minute in the league and they went to the European Cup final that they should have won, really. But where I am right now, look, it's frustrating. A lot of people seeing it coming to a certain extent, and we probably get into that in a bit, especially when you talk about Bellingham. But it's one of those where Liverpool fans, and I hate when I say this, people get annoyed, but they've been spoiled. You know, and no matter how big a club you are and how, you know, successful you are at the time, like even Manchester United fans in the 90s, you know, and the 2000s, absolutely spoiled, because, you know, you have that much success. When you go to a football game, you expect, you might win, might lose, but when you're winning all the time, it becomes the norm, and that's what's hitting Liverpool fans at the moment. But right now, no, we're probably looking to avoid Europe at this stage, Joe. Because if you get into that Europa League, it's Thursday, Sunday, and it's hard, you know, it's just hard to get your head around, I think, when you're so used to playing maybe Saturday, Tuesday. And I know that sounds stupid, but when you're so in that rhythm, that Thursday, Sunday stuff, and then you're trying to use players that you don't usually use in Europe and stuff like that. But right now, Liverpool don't have anything to play for. Even if they won their last, I think they've 9 games left. If they win the last 9 games, they're not getting the Champions League anyway.
Do you know what? Like Klopp was saying, like you can try new things and whatnot. So I'm quite curious as to how you believe like Liverpool are gonna take on. Obviously, you need to get a win. I know you're not in great form. I think it's what is it now? Is it 5 on the spin now without a victory, drawing 2, losing 3? So Like, obviously, we want to get a win, but I think it gave me a little bit of confidence, Gav, when he said we might try new things. I don't know if is he playing personnel to see who's going to be here next season, etc. Like, what's the stick at the minute with Liverpool?
I don't really know where he's going with that. We'll try new things because all season we've played 4-3-3. You know, people have made an awful lot of Trent Alexander-Arnold being advanced, more tucked in against Arsenal, but that was probably something just to get past an Arsenal press, really. You know, because if you get it into him in that space, he's so good, Trent. Like, he gets an awful time over his defending. But I keep saying it, if you want your right back to be pulling strings 25, 30 yards from the opposition's goal, you can't be expecting to tuck in and cover a centre back 7 seconds later when the ball's down the other end of the pitch. He's constantly gone 4-3-3. I don't think he has. You're talking about players. Is he trying personnel to see who'll be there, who won't? He knows who won't be there, and they're not playing. Oxlade-Chamberlain, Keita, they won't be there. Firmino.
If Milner stays, Milner will go now as well, eh?
He's 37. I keep him because Milner, in fairness to him, you know, he's not going to run a game for you. He's not going to change many games for you, but he can allow other people to change games. He can get in there and he gets a foot in and stuff like that. He's 37. He should be probably coming on as a sub in a dozen games, but it depends what James Milner wants. James Milner could go and possibly play most weeks in some Premier League teams and a lot of Championship sides. So it all depends, but I don't think he's auditioning players because he's had to play who he has. We have, like, Diaz has been out an awful long time. Jota the same. We've had problems in midfield with injury and just Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain don't bother turning up. So he's kind of being stuck. Bajcetic, the young lad Bajcetic, is a player, an absolute player. And he gets injured, he's out for the rest of the season. So even if you want to give him a run of 12 games to get him really into it, he can't. So it's just going to be much of the same, Joe. Luis Diaz looks like he's back Monday, but it's much of the same where he just played him all to the end of the season.
Diaz might play. I'm going to share up this graphic. I just wanted you to get your opinions on that. Do you think that's how Liverpool will line up for the week, for Monday? Sorry.
Well, Alisson is a doubt.
Right. Okay.
That's the first thing. Alisson is a doubt. He's only trained 2 days this week, I think. But if he doesn't play, Kelleher will come in, and Kelleher is a really good goalkeeper. Yeah, I think he'd play Robertson, Van Dijk, Konate, Trent. Yeah. Midfield wise, he's stuck in midfield. He's stuck in midfield. Fabinho, yeah. Henderson, Thiago, yeah, probably. And the front three, you could argue maybe Firmino gets a start over Gakpo. Maybe Diaz. I don't think Diaz will get a start, but Jota is fit, so maybe Jota can do something instead of Nunez. But we've a little bit more options up front now. But at the back, Tsimikas hasn't impressed when he's played. But I don't really blame him because he's not played an awful lot. It's hard to come in every 15 games and play. Van Dijk will definitely play. Konate, yeah, you know, it picks itself to a certain extent, but in midfield, you might see Elliott.
Right.
You know, Elliott has been left out a little bit, and I think he's been a bit unfortunate. But after Elliott, when you look at the midfield we have, there's not many options there. Like, Arthur is signed on loan. He's played 13 minutes of football for Liverpool. You know, Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's not interested in Oxlade-Chamberlain anymore. He knows he's gone. Keita went off and played international football and arrived back injured again. Yeah, so it'll be close enough to that. Maybe Elliott, maybe Firmino, and then maybe on Jota. Diaz will probably be on the bench, but that's what you're probably looking at being up against. Yeah. Close enough.
Yeah. I mean, Diaz coming back worries me a bit because I'm a massive fan of Diaz. I hope he doesn't touch grass on Monday, to be fair, because I think his quality. Mate, obviously, Leeds United beat you earlier on in the season, and, you know, this would be the first time we'd have done the double over you since 2000, 2001, so quite some time, and only the 5th time in our history. So, you know, it's a really tough fixture for us. I was looking earlier just ahead of my preview. You're unbeaten in 7 visits to Ellen Road as well. So, you know, history says, you know, it's going to be a comfortable win. But you've just 3 wins on the road this season, which I found insane to think that that's Liverpool. I think there's only 3 teams with a worse away record than Liverpool.
Yeah.
So I mean, is there hope for Leeds United to be able to do this double with how poor you've been away from home?
Of course there is. Of course there is. Look, Liverpool's season for me, and I know you're going to go on to Bellingham and stuff, and this will explain a bit more when we get to that. But Liverpool's season for me is, one, not planned out well enough, and two, a bit of a oh shit moment. Fairly early on in the season when you looked at certain players and went, their legs are gone. And we haven't been able to rescue that situation. Like, Liverpool play Arsenal last week, and for 45 minutes in the second half, Liverpool dominate Arsenal. Absolutely run all over them. And that's Liverpool.
Yeah.
Liverpool, I was at Anfield when Liverpool beat United 7-0.
I know he was, man. And that was to be amazing, bro.
It was, but the thing was, right, in the first half, very nip and tuck, right? Not mad energy in the game, mad energy from the stands, but very kind of a game of chess a bit. And then Liverpool get the first goal, and then when they score the second one, Liverpool just switch on. And then it's mayhem because Liverpool find their legs. And Fabinho's just picking up bits and getting at the players that can hurt you. And Liverpool haven't found a way to do that for a lot of this season. And you see, a lot of teams out there, Joe, and I don't know what Leeds are like. Leeds might be a little bit similar, actually, where there's teams out there where you go, they're a bit dodgy at the back, but they're electric up front, and that kind of masks a lot of things. Or midfield isn't great, but my God, they're solid and they score goals. Or they don't score an awful lot, but they don't concede an awful lot. Liverpool are a very functional team, and what I mean by that is when one element goes, because it's at such a high level, you see problems everywhere else. Like Van Dijk, Kanate, Matip, all these centre-halves, the full-backs, they're getting exposed, right? And I'm not saying they're bad defenders, but what's happening is, or what used to happen was, Liverpool will win the ball high up the pitch or pressure high up the pitch. And defenders are dealing with percentage balls, so it's easy. Whereas now, Liverpool are losing, not winning balls, and they're losing second balls in midfield. And because the legs are gone a little bit, they're being steamrolled through midfield. So you end up with Van Dijk, who's a phenomenal centre-back. But he's looking going, do I go here? Do I go there? Where do I go? And Liverpool gets stretched. So the season overall for me is one of, we didn't do enough midfield-wise, and stuff has caught up with us. And now it's led to what will have to be a massive, massive summer for Liverpool, spending-wise. And we'll have to be a little bit ruthless with some players where you go, oh, I'm surprised that they're looking at letting him go. But it's going to have to be like that, Joe. And it happens. It's football cyclical. It's great 1 minute and it's terrible the next. And sometimes it can be terrible and it's a blip, like the season after we win the league. Or sometimes it's terrible and it needs to be fixed, like now, in my opinion.
Do you have confidence that it will? Because obviously, the last time you went big on players was Alisson, Van Dijk, etc., and that was when you'd sold Coutinho, so there was a lot of money in the bank. Obviously, I understand the FSG out thing and that. I don't know where your head's at with that, and you know, we don't have to go into that. But do you?
Well, you can if you want.
Yeah. Do you believe that they will back it enough? Like, because the fact is, at Liverpool, there's not much money to be able to sell unless you sell a Salah, etc., which ain't going to happen. So where does that money come from now, you know?
Am I confident of them doing it? No. Because their model since the day they came in was, you know, you under promise and you overachieve. That was one of the first words when they came into Liverpool in 2010. Yes, they signed Alisson and Van Dijk off the Coutinho money, but you have to remember they were trying to sign Van Dijk before Coutinho ever had a made up back problem, right? They were literally trying to sign Van Dijk 2 months before that. They get a colossal amount of money for Coutinho, way more than I think they ever. Yeah. I think they said that Barcelona's 140 million, and Barcelona went okay, and Liverpool went what? You know,
they were on a mad one there.
And they do sign Alisson because at the end of that season, Karius has that European Cup final. Then he's awful in pre-season, and Liverpool pulled the trigger, right? Now, they've spent a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. Like, they spent 64, rising to 85 on Darwin Núñez. They put 40 down on Gakpo. They put 50, I think, down on Luis Diaz. So it's not like they're not spending money.
Yeah.
And their model is that they spend what they have. Liverpool have no debt on the club. They have nothing whatsoever. They don't owe anybody a penny. Okay, they earn a colossal amount of money and they spend a colossal amount of money. All right, But the thing is that works if your planning is perfect and your decisions are perfect. No matter how much money you earn, it has to be perfect, Joe. The decisions for me, Jurgen Klopp included, by the way, this is not like I'm just going to ram FSG here. Jurgen Klopp included as part of my argument, Joe, is if you're good, everyone gets praise when they're good. The whole team, you know, they're building statues of Michael Edwards because he brought in all these players because Liverpool are winning leagues and stuff like that.
Is this the guy that's gone as well? He's
gone,
now, right?
He's gone. And the guy that replaced him, that worked alongside him for a year, this guy is now leaving in June, right? So there's a big palaver over that. But that's just the way it goes, right? But everyone is great when we're winning, and they're all giving credit. But when you're not winning, you have to pick somebody to have a go at. Now, I'm not saying FSG aren't 95% of the problem here. Klopp might be part of the problem.
Yeah.
The backroom staff, the recruitment staff, whatever it might be. But confidence in them doing it, they haven't shown a track record for doing it. Okay. But the problem they have now is that they have no option, Joe. Because they have Oxlade-Chamberlain and Keita leaving. Now, people will say they're no loss. No, figuratively, they're no loss. But the problem is that the guys that are left in midfield need more help, which means you have to replace these two guys. Right? You then have a 37-year-old Milner. You have a Henderson that should probably go into that Milner role now, staged over the next year or so. You've got a Fabinho that's looked like his legs have fallen off. You've got a Thiago who surprisingly has been available for 76% of Liverpool games since he's joined. But when he gets an injury, he's probably out for 10 games. Okay, and that hurts, right? You have Elliott, who's a real talent, but struggling in the Liverpool midfield that's not functioning properly. You've got Jones that's showing a potential, but doesn't really get to the next step. Do you know what I mean? So you're not left with a hell of a lot there. Bajcetic is a fabulous footballer, but he's 18. Right?
Yeah.
And they need 3 midfielders, Joe. They need 3 midfielders in the centre half, in my opinion, come the summer. So whether you think they have form for it or are you confident in it, they have to do it, Joe.
Yeah.
They're sitting on a £4 billion football club. Okay? And value goes off that very quickly if you're not in the Champions League. One season, you'll be okay. If it goes 2 seasons, you're not now. The Champions League is changing in 2024, 25, where I think if you won a group game since 1996, you're in. You know, the sort of way, because you wait for paying out money because of the Super League problem. So I think confident, no, but the necessity is there. Yeah. And what I see happening at the moment is Klopp's throwing a bit too much of the line for me. And he probably has to do that because he's a bit pissed off with the media, like, because the Liverpool media are, I think they're atrocious. But they have to, Joe. Like, it's a bit like Leeds. If Leeds stay up, you can't sit in your laurels, can't you? Not say, well, we stayed up. You need to go. We need 4 players, and we need to be ruthless.
Well, we tried that after Bielsa. After the 9th place finish, the football club went, we'll be all right. Yes. And look, we nearly got relegated and had to stay up on the final day. So, and to be fair, the 49ers take over Leeds this summer. So as long as we're a Premier League club, let's see what they do. But, you know, you mentioned Liverpool, obviously the key one being midfield. Before we talk about just the game and your thoughts on Leeds this season, but I just want to get your thoughts on Bellingham, because it seemed for a long time, you know, I love Jude Bellingham. You know, I'm a little bit disappointed that it looks like it's not going to be Liverpool, because I don't mind City, me personally. I know you don't, but I just don't want him going to Spain, mate. I don't want him going to Real Madrid. I want him to be in the Premier League. Yeah, and I hope that that's going to be the case. But yeah, I thought he was heading for Liverpool. Then we hear all the stories that Liverpool are going to have to move on because of the money that you would have to pay for Bellingham. You're then not going to be able to get them 3 midfielders and a centre-back that you mentioned. So how are you feeling about that? I guess you have to accept it, but are you disappointed? Because obviously he fills your midfield for 10 years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, this might be my red tinted glasses on, but I don't think the Jude Bellingham to Liverpool thing is over by a long shot.
Right, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And, you know, as soon as I say that, people, again, go over, and if you watch your channel, as soon as you say something like that, a lot of, now, in fairness, the core people that watch your channel will take that on board, argue with you, and it's fine, and then others come in and go, oh, you're just an FSG apologist, right? I don't care about fucking FSG, Joe. Like, I don't care. Yeah. I don't turn up at Anfield every time I go and go, I wonder will someone from FSG be here so I can see them. I don't care about them. Look, Jude Bellingham, the problem here is that Liverpool went to try and sign Ariel Tchouameni last season from Monaco, right? Apparently the deal was in place for £50 million, and Real Madrid come in and blitzed it with an £80 million bid rising to £100 million or whatever it was. Ridiculous money. And Liverpool went, well, we're not paying that. And that's absolutely fine. If you value a fella at 50, you might go to 60, but when they're going in 80, raising to whatever, you kind of go, he's a great player, but that's just ridiculous. Like, do you know what I mean? And that's absolutely fine. He's a phenomenal player, by the way.
He is,
Right. So people were like, well, they'll move on to the next target. They signed Darwin Núñez, and people go, oh, we've spent our midfield money on Darwin Núñez. Not true. Sadio Mane was leaving the club, and they were bringing in someone. They probably foreseen Firmino going, okay, Origi left the club, Minamino left the club, you know, so they had to bring in, even though they brought Diaz in the January, they still had to bring in another forward. So they done that. So, but we are getting told that we're waiting for the right player, and it was getting towards the end of the transfer window. People were like, are you not signing a midfield? And Klopp was like, I don't think we need one. What we need isn't available out there, right? Now, we kind of backtracked on that a little bit, but the whole thing about Bellingham is that Bellingham, everyone felt that Bellingham was the one he was waiting on, okay? You see Henderson and you see Trent at the World Cup. You've seen Carragher, you've seen Gerrard.
You've seen him talking to Gerrard, like saying,
and you can see the kind of look between them as if something's going on here. Now, it's very curious what happened on, I think it was Tuesday. Jan Åge Fjørtoft reports that Liverpool have started the game of roulette with Bellingham by lodging a bid of £84 million. Within half an hour of that, or an hour, it was reported by all the Liverpool patch to say, no, Liverpool have killed their interest in Jude Bellingham because they feel that they've more to do around the squad than they previously thought. Now, that's bullshit, because you know what you need to do in that squad. Jude Bellingham signing Jude Bellingham is all about money. It's not about, turns out we need a fullback because we can't sign Jude Bellingham. Liverpool can still spend 200 million this summer and get Jude Bellingham and two midfielders. So, and even Klopp was asked about Jude Bellingham and then answers the question by saying, I'm not talking about Jude Bellingham here, but there's things out there that you realistically can't have, which makes me think, well, he's not saying he can't have Jude Bellingham. It feels like a bit of a ploy. It feels like a bit of a bargain until we could walk away. But I've said it for months and months and months, Joe. I feel wherever Bellingham wants to go is already decided. All right? And where he's going to go is already decided. Could it be Liverpool? I don't know. And I've said it for months, I don't know. And no matter what positive news I get, like Paul Joyce, the Liverpool journal, who said a week ago Liverpool were absolutely keen, number one target, the players keen to join. And all of a sudden, we're not interested in them. It makes no sense. So it feels a bit like a bit of a game. I could be completely wrong, and he'll sign for Real Madrid or Man City. I think he'll go to the Premier League. I think Man City will be more. But Joe, what does me is that if Liverpool want Jude Bellingham, there's no reason in my mind why they can't go and sign him. And I don't really care if it's 130 million euros, because at the end of the day, they'll only be given 60 of it up front.
He's worth every penny, though.
Well, he can play for 5 years at Liverpool, and then you just turn around and go, I want to go to Real Madrid. Grant, they have to give us 150 million.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So,
100%.
I don't think it's over. That's probably me being too optimistic. But from what I've seen, trying to be as rational as I possibly can, and somebody that has said for ages, I don't know, and whether it's positive or negative news on him, it doesn't really sway me either side. I still don't know. I think there's more in this. I think there's a lot to run in this.
I think the good thing with Jude as well, he's got good people around him, and his dad's heavily involved. Big time, and that's great. And I'd read a story that he's not really into going. He wants to go to a club with a bit of history and all this sort of stuff as well. Not like, but listen, money talks and stuff. But I do think he's got good people around him. So hopefully we'll see him in the Premier. And I just don't want him to go anywhere else in Europe. Let's get him to the Premier League. But just on, I know you're a bit stuck for time, bro.
No, you take your time.
You cool. I just wanted to get your thoughts on Leeds United. Obviously, you know what? I know you were actually keen on Jesse Either. I think you were a bit dubious about his qualities. Obviously, he gets sacked. Grazia's come in and has done a decent job by the spanking last weekend by Palace, where we just capitulated. Yeah. But what are your thoughts on Leeds, and do you think we're going to stay up, Gav?
I think you will. I think we've done a show. I think we've done a show. We done a show where we tried to do a relegation thing, and we ended up with Southampton, Forest, and Bournemouth going down when we looked through it all. Leeds, I wasn't a fan of Jesse Marsh. I think Jesse Marsh is not even a hipster choice. It's a real kind of, he's a young manager. He's in Germany. He's kind of, isn't he great? And he's not, the sort of way. And he turned up at Leeds, and you were really frustrated from early on because he kept playing really narrow football and saying stuff like, let's kick the ball at the goal. Like, it was like fucking Ted Lasso's cousin that turned up to fucking manage Leeds. And like, I look at the table, you're 2 points clear of everything. Forest, Leicester. You'll just about have enough. My thing with Leeds is that, and even this appointment that they've made now, I don't think it's a long-term appointment they've made with this guy. I don't know what contract he's given him, but it doesn't feel like a long-term thing. Is it an end of season contract?
Flexible. I mean, for me, because I really like
flexible means keep us up. We'll hand you a load of money and
I think I think if he does keep us up, he does deserve that chance. But obviously, he's had a lot of people changing their opinion after the 5-1 spanking. But I don't even think it was him, Gav. I think we conceded a couple in a couple of minutes, and they just went to, reverted back to type what they've done all season. You know what I mean? And the Reds went. I don't think it was so much him, because I think he's done well, and I think he'll come up with a decent tactical plan on Monday night. To be honest, he keeps us in games 9 times.
Yeah, I think like Leeds have the squad that should definitely stay up. Now, in saying that, I think Leicester have the squad that should definitely stay up, and I think Leicester are in a world of trouble. Because
do you think Dean Smith's the right appointment? I don't. I don't think they'll get a bounce.
I think it's a weird one because. Look, Dean Smith was at Villa, gets sacked, goes to Norwich. They get relegated under him, don't they? They start the season poorly. He gets sacked. It's a real stopgap feeling for me. Craig Shakespeare's rocked up there again. Like, Craig Shakespeare definitely has like a porta cabin. Out the back of the Walker Stadium or the King Power Stadium, and they just ring him and go, Craig, you're up again. And I think John Terry's gone in there as part of the group as well. And it feels
lock up your wives, innit? Lock up your wives when John Terry's.
It feels a bit jobs for the boys. And But like when you look at their squad, I think the thing holding them back is I think those players were in that squad that hold a lot of sway, can turn things toxic very quickly. And I think that power might be drifting away from them. And this is their last kind of hurrah where they'll just keep causing trouble. Because when you look at that players, that the goalkeeper was brilliant the way at Palace even when they were beaten. I watched that game, but you look at them, the defenders are good, midfielders are good, attacking wise, even Vardy at the ages at Daka, Harvey Barnes, they've plenty there, but it just feels like the cohesion's gone completely out of them. But for me,
I think as well, Harvey Barnes is injured as well for next.
But Leeds need to stop looking at Everton and they need to be looking at Palace and saying, right, we got absolutely spanked about the place by them. So we need to look at them and go, because if you stay with Palace, you're 4 points off Palace now. If you finish winning a point of Palace, you stay up. There's no doubt about it, because Palace only need 2 more wins and they're good. So if you finish on 37, you're staying up. Because as much as people go on about Everton and Leicester and Forest will drop back in, because Forest just feel like that whole signing a load of players is coming back to haunt them a little bit. So will they stay up, Leeds? Yeah, I'd like to see them stay up. I think they're a much, a lot of people think Liverpool fans don't like Leeds, and I've said it before, Joe, I don't hold any love for Leeds, but as an entity and somebody you go, that'll be a good game. I'm watching Leeds every day of the week before I watch Forest or Bournemouth or even Southampton. So I think they will. It'll be hard, but they'll probably need to, for me, and it's just from watching a couple of Leeds games, they need to adjust better when things happen in games. And what I mean by that is that Palace game today, they battered Palace first half. And they come off 1-1 at half time. And you're kind of thinking, that's so unfortunate. But Leeds head go.
Big time.
And they come out and try to this and try to that. And Palace, as much as I think Palace have great individuals going forward, if you stick to a plan against Palace, you'll get a result. And Leeds should have planned out the window. So Leeds need to probably go in and go, if we go a goal down, don't worry about it. Stick to what we're trying to do, react better. If we go a goal up, just react really well to it. I think they lose their heads a little bit in both those scenarios. But the only thing is, you have a difficult enough run in, haven't you?
Well, to be fair, the last 4, yes, but after you, we have Fulham, Leicester, and Bournemouth. And I think them 3 there, even with you, I count yourselves in this because I think there's a big chance for a point because of your away form. I think if we can get minimum 7 out of 4 games, I think it's enough, Gav. And that's Fulham away, that's Leicester at home and Bournemouth away, and then yourselves as well.
Yeah, because then you're into Man City away, Newcastle at home, and then Spurs even on the last day of the season, but Spurs might be still fighting for something. So the only other one in there is kind of West Ham away on the second last day of the season. So I'm with you on that. The next 4 is probably huge, but you see, in that next 4, I think the problem Leeds have is even I know we're previewing Monday night, but Leeds will be going to Fulham, it'll be point to be good there, but it's the next 2. Where Leeds will be going, target that, and that's where I think their heads go. They need to treat it more like a normal game, you know, because did Leicester win about 4-1 at Ellen Road recently? I know Leeds
last season, it would have been last season. Harvey Barnes, I think.
Barnes,
He always scores. That's why I'm glad he's injured, bro. Because he's always scores.
But in that game, Leeds are fine, and then just someone hits a switch, and all of a sudden Leicester just go on a rampage. So I know where you're getting from, but look, if they were to draw against Liverpool, draw against Fulham, take a win against, funny enough, if they took 6 out of the next 4, you'd be on 35 points, and I think you're going to be okay.
It's going to be a very low points tally this season.
Well, currently 25 and 27 points hold the bottom, or 2 of the bottom 3 positions. There's 8 games left. On form, they've taken less than a point a game. You know what I mean? So if you're on 25 after playing 30, you're probably finishing with 29 or 30 points. Now, crazy things do happen, but on a Leeds point of view, Leeds nearly need to forget about what's behind them and just look at Palace and go, you just keep chasing them, you know, as if it's a chase for a Europa spot or something.
Of course.
Manage the game a little bit better and they'll be fine because they have the players, there's no doubt about
it. I think the good thing about us playing Monday is as well, I'm a little bit excited to sit Sunday night and see where the land lies because Leicester play City, don't see them winning that. Southampton have got Palace and Forest have got Man United. So, you know, for me, even if all them teams lose, for example, I can look at Liverpool and say, do you know what? If we lose, it's all right. It's as you were, and we've got 1 more less game to play.
The only problem, Forest play United, do they?
Yes.
Harry Maguire and Lindelof are back at the back.
No,
that should be fun. But it's funny, isn't it? Like, it's every week, like, it's just like huge games.
Yeah, it's been a great season for that.
When you see the 10 games listed, you'd usually go at this side of the season, well, no one's watching that, no one's watching that. But every game is just something on it. And I always put a bet on every Saturday, you know, the 3 o'clock games. Maybe a couple of scorers or over and unders in the goals. And just for a bit of interest. But like, you're watching every game going, this could go anywhere. Like, it's incredible. And you know what? Look, you'd rather be in Leeds' position than Leicester's. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
You know what I mean? If you better Everton and Leicester's return by the end of this season, you're fine. That's all I have to worry about. You know what I mean? Just on Leeds United, obviously you mentioned we've got the players to do it. Is there anyone you're overly concerned about? I look at, for me, straight away, like I'm looking at the game, I'm thinking, look, I want to be getting Sinister, I want to be getting Nonto in behind the fullbacks at Liverpool. It'll be interesting to see how Javi lines us up. But is there anyone like, have you seen Nonto this season? Are you a fan of young Willie Nonto? He's a good player, isn't he? Yes. Very, very, very exciting. Sinister is a good signing as well. I really like Arneson, and I'm not too sure if Leeds fans are a bit split, but I do like him. And I like Rocket. But and Harrison always seems to turn up as well.
Against you, he does, you know.
Yeah. But the thing is, like,
go on, mate, go on.
The thing about it is, when I look at Monday night, I get your point. If you know, like, I'm looking at Leeds at home to Palace here, just the lineup, right? So you've Sinister and Harrison either side of Arneson, Bamford up front, right? And it's all very well, it's all great saying, you know, we get these guys in behind the fullbacks, but you have to be extremely brave to do that. Because in order for you to get behind these fullbacks, it means you have to stay up the pitch. Right? Or you're not.
Which I don't think we will under Grazia, you know.
But you're not going to, if you're not going to track Trent and Robertson in particular. You know, fair play to you.
Yeah.
Bigger balls than I have. You know, but the big thing is, Joe.
Yeah.
The big thing is winning second balls in midfield against Liverpool and having a player that can carry a ball in midfield, because that's where Liverpool are hurting at the minute. They're not winning enough second balls.
Really have it, bro.
But that's where I always look at teams when Liverpool are facing them, going, who wins second balls? Because Liverpool used to win every second ball. Gini Wijnaldum, Henderson, they'd all be Fabinho, bang, they'd be on you, and you couldn't get out, right? And even if you did get out, they'd be still all over you, and you had to hit miracle passes to get through Liverpool, even if they just sat two centre halves at the back. But right now, Liverpool lose a second ball, and then someone takes it and moves 30 yards, and Liverpool are in a world of trouble. So I don't know if there's anyone there. McKennie can do it. McKennie can move a little bit, but the only thing you look at what Liverpool have up front, and I think there's one. The only worry I'd have if I was a Leeds fan is there's a couple of them up front that are just waiting to explode for me. I think Jota definitely. Nunez has 18 goal involvements in 36 games. He hasn't been bad at all this season. He's 14 goals all season. No, a lot of money, but I think
everyone's comparing him to Haaland.
I think he's been affected a little bit by the fact that we've lost players and we've had to rejig it a little bit, and he's been part of that rejig, having to play out left quite a bit. But if I'm Leeds, I'd be a little bit wary of Darwin Nunez and Jota. Salah is Salah. You know, you have to deal with him. But them two look like they're just waiting to hurt somebody.
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting, because I just want to show you this, and this is, I don't know what Leeds fans think about this, but when we went to Arsenal, and I don't know if that was just because we were away from home, but we did sort of sit in a mid to low block, and at times when out of possession, what you would see is the two midfielders would sit in between the fullback and centre-back, so at times we almost had six at the back. And to be fair, for 30 minutes against Arsenal, we played well, but then we gave away a silly penalty, and then obviously the game opened up, and that was that. But I sort of think he might do this, but then at the same time, I think, but we're at home, we need to get, I don't know. Do you think this is probably the best way to try and defend against Liverpool? Make it, packed and tight so they can't find that space? Because I think we've seen under previous seasons against Liverpool, especially under Bielsa, we left so much space for years, and you just used to cut through us with ease. Your centre-backs, I mean, Joel Matip used to even get goals against us, didn't he? And marauding up. So, yeah, and Virgil van Dijk as well, actually, has got like 3 or 4 goal involvements against Leeds in the last couple of games somewhere. Because from set pieces, Gav, I don't know if you've been great attacking them this season, but set pieces, we are woeful at. So if you get
we haven't been great at that, Joe.
No. Yeah, I suppose.
No, we haven't. We've been bang average for the season, and our position shows. We've had some really good games and we've had some really bad games, and they level out into average, and then you've seen an awful lot of average. And because we're Liverpool, a lot is made of it, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, we're still just a football team trying to play football, so you can find gaps in them. I think with that thing you put up there, there's a lot of pace, and that's probably Leeds' way home. But it's something you just said there a minute ago. Is this the way to play? But we're at home, and this is where you need to react differently, Joe.
Yeah.
Ellen Road will pull you through so much, but it won't pull you through all the time.
No, exactly.
Look, I've watched really good Liverpool teams come out and sit in against teams and go, we're just doing our job here. And at Anfield, by the way. And for 10, 15 minutes, you're like, what are you doing? But then you realise, well, they're doing this because if they open up too much, they're going to get hurt. And I think that's where Leeds need to come into this game, and others, and say to themselves, yeah, we've pace, yeah, we've this, we're at home, but do you know what? Let's just go out and take a sting out of Liverpool for a minute.
Yeah.
Let's take a sting out of Liverpool, and let's see where it gets us. Let's get 20 minutes in, because I know Liverpool don't have much to play for, but the pressure's on Liverpool to go and win at Leeds.
Of course, yeah.
So there is ways Leeds can get at Liverpool. There is players at Leeds that can get at Liverpool, but they have to work very, very hard, because Liverpool, despite not being great this season, are brave as anything. So they will push Trent, they will push Robertson, they will leave Fabinho in the middle of the park on his own at times. They will make Salah go inside. They'll do all sorts of stuff, and the only thing the thing that's hurting them at the minute is the recovery from trying that, and that's where Leeds need to be really set up well. and then brave when they get the breaks, because if they're brave when they get the breaks, they'll get chances, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and go Leeds are shy. Liverpool are gonna batter them. I'm gonna tell you the truth, and that's really the way it is.
Yeah, and I think that we even got a point against Brighton, and we did sit off them for such a long time, and you know, even the Leeds fans in the ground got quite, you know, not booey, but you know, they didn't really like that we weren't pressing, we weren't gung ho, but we got a result from that. So I think if we did, I think the Leeds faithful will be like, you know what, yeah, we can see what he's trying to do, and ultimately a point would be huge for Leeds United. What gives a score prediction, mate? How do you see it going? You know, how's it going to go?
I think it's a difficult one, because all things being equal, I think Liverpool win this game. But Liverpool's away form has been terrible. On the Allen, it's a Monday night, so the fans are going to be well up for Leeds.
Yeah.
I think. Do you know what? I think if Leeds come out and adjust to the situation really well, rather than just going, listen, we have to go for this straight from the off, and play an intelligent game and pick their moments, I think they can hurt Liverpool. I think if they come out and open up, I think Liverpool could hurt them.
Yeah.
I predicted Liverpool would beat them during the week. I don't. It's a really tough one. I think when I predicted Liverpool to win, it'd be very, very narrow. But just everything that's going on at Liverpool at the minute, it feels like a bit of a winding down session at the minute, regardless of what the players are going to say. I think Liverpool will win it, Joe, but I think it'd be very, very, very tight. And I think Leeds, even if they're beaten, they will come out of it going, you know what, we done all right there.
Yeah.
And you go away to Fulham and you take something from it. Would I be surprised if Leeds won it? No. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised with any result, really, because Liverpool, when they're turning up, you just don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
I just think when I look at Palace at Ellen Road last week, when Leeds stepped off a little bit, they got hurt, and I think Liverpool have a couple of players that are looking to hurt people, and that's the only reason why I have Liverpool edge in it. But any result wouldn't surprise me, and that's not me sitting on the fence. It's just it's very hard to gauge the Liverpool side that A, what players we have going into it, B, we're away from home, and C, do they actually feel like there's nothing left to play for?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so it's very hard to gauge it. If Liverpool were flying for the title, you don't stand a chance. We're going there, we're beating you, and we're out. You know, the sort of way. But listen, I'd never want Liverpool, but I wouldn't mind if Leeds took a point. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, because once Everton go down, I'm happy.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. To be honest, I mean, we've got a chance to do the double over you. That would be amazing. You know, we beat you at Anfield. You know, you look at that and say, all right, okay, that means we can get something. Liverpool's woeful away. I still can't believe you've only won 3 away from home. Yeah. I think there's a point in there for Leeds. I think there is a point, because we won't keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
I think we've not got many clean sheets this season, even dating back to last season, to be honest, about 3 or something, I don't know. So, yeah, I think 1-1, and I would take that. And if you could give me 1-1 now, I'd take it. But there's something in me says maybe Liverpool will edge it 2-1.
There's more goals in that game than 1-0.
Do you think?
Oh yeah.
We've had some decent games since we've returned back. I think.
Like Liverpool have this habit at the minute where when there's players running at them from wide positions or through the middle, where they all just look around at each other, you know, and throw an out leg at it here, and it might fall here, and then there's cross come in the box and there's mayhem, and it's just one of those at the moment. I think there's more goals. If I'm a betting man, it's 4 goals or more in this game. I'm being honest with you. Yeah, I definitely
I'd take 2-2. I'd take 2-2, bro. Yeah, that would be amazing. Our wingers, that is music to my ears. You saying that, because we've got really good wingers. It's just the man in the middle when crosses are coming in Patrick Bamford can't hit a barn door at the minute. So yeah, we need a new striker in the summer for sure. But we move. Listen, Gav, I want to thank you so much for coming on.
No problem at all.
I hope you enjoy Monday night. Getting beat, obviously, but it is what it is.
I'll have a few cans. To be honest with you, Joe, like, you know, I always say I don't get too high and I don't get too low over Liverpool. The only thing helping me out at the minute is playing golf. Yeah, it's the only thing to keep my mind nice and clear. I've started a new YouTube channel playing golf, and I'm having the best time doing it. So yeah, whatever happens Monday, I'll be playing golf Tuesday morning.
So nice,
nice.
Have you got any tips for the national tomorrow?
No, I'm not a gambling man when it comes to horses. I don't really know them. Like when Cheltenham comes about, I sit down and I go on the Paddy Power app and I look at all the horses, and it's usually, oh, he's a nice name, or oh, look at the colour of his hat. You know, the sort of way. Yeah.
You'll have one. You'll have a go tomorrow though. On the national,
yeah,
right?
I'll probably just stick a pin in the paper and let the kids do a bit.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
But honestly, like tomorrow, yeah, I'll watch a bit of football, but I'll be watching golf then tomorrow night. It's all about golf. Like genuinely, I started this channel about 6-8 weeks ago, and we go out and play golf and we record it and we put the videos out, and it's just me and my mate being really average at golf, and we're having the best time. Bang Average Golf is the name of it. So people, if people out there like golf, go to Bang Average Golf, subscribe. We done a video the other day, Joe, where we're on a practice green doing a few putts, and we ended up talking about conspiracy theories and Buzz Aldrin punching people in the head because they doubt he was on the moon and stuff. So there's loads of golf, but there's loads of just ridiculous stuff.
Nice. I like stuff like that, mate.
Michael Brown asked, did I see Joe Biden in Ireland? No, I didn't.
What's that?
Joe Biden, the American president, turned up.
Did he?
Yeah, he's made some absolute gaffes. It's some outrageous stuff. He's gone and seen the president. He's over in the west of Ireland tonight at a concert or some sort. No, like there's loads of people in Ireland that will do it. But no, not for me.
Nah.
You know. There's another guy there. Sorry, he says, I love this comment there. Where's it gone? Jamie says, I liked Ian Paisley's accent. Soft and warm. The Reverend Ian Paisley. Yeah. All right. Okay. It was anything but soft and warm, but I get where you're coming from. He was a fucking powerful voice he had. I'd say he was great in karaoke, actually.
Yeah, there you go, mate. Yeah. We've had Javier coming for Liverpool and all sorts tonight. He said, a Scouser, really? I was like, Javier, I know you're from Spain. Gavi's not a Scouser.
No.
Definitely not.
No, I'm not. I'm over in Liverpool loads and loads, but yeah, no, I'm not a Scouser. But Scouts people are some of the nice people you'll ever meet, though.
Yeah, nice people. Yeah, everywhere's nice, Gav. Everywhere's nice. God's own country is Yorkshire, though, pal. You know what I mean? God's own country. But I think we'll leave it there. Listen, folks, make sure you head on over to the LFC Day Trippers. Almost daily content at times. Make sure you check out Bang Average Golf as well while you're at it. And I will see you tomorrow for our Liverpool versus Leeds preview. A more in-depth look at the game and how Leeds United will need to go about it. And yeah, we will leave it there. So I will see you tomorrow, folks. Thanks.